Okay, so I saw this on Twitter. Miley Cyrus to W Mag on only winning her first Grammy this year. She said, "No shade, but I've been doing this for 20 years, and this is my first time actually being taken seriously at the Grammys. I've had a hard time figuring out what the measurement is there because if we want to talk about stats and numbers, then where the fuck was I? And if you want to talk like impact on culture, then where the fuck was I? This is not about arrogance. I'm proud of myself." And I think that she's right because, I mean, look at the Bangers album, a song like We Can't Stop that is still an excellent song to this day. Wrecking Ball, I literally remember when that video came out and like all the controversy that she had caused with that, and it was definitely a hard shift from what she was doing at Disney. She was like, "I'm an adult, I'm not doing that anymore, this is me, you either take it or you leave it," and she was still giving us like smash hits with that. We have to talk about the VMA performance and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I just feel like they viewed her in a certain way. They probably viewed her as someone who was trashy with her public imaging and stuff like that. They didn't take her seriously. So, therefore, she wasn't getting the Grammy for that. And, she had great stuff after that, too. I mean, I really like songs like Younger Now and Malibu. And, Slide Away was a great song. Her Plastic Hearts album was actually incredible. I still think that that's her best album. And it took her to having a smash hit with Flowers for them to finally be like, okay, we're going to give you your things. And also, I'm sure the people in the Academy have changed slightly and stuff like that. Public opinion has shifted. And also, now the Grammys, they realize, hey, no one cares about our ceremony anymore. So what we have to do is we have to give the awards to people who deserve it. And with the undeniable hit that Flowers was, it was, just something there. So they are righting their wrongs in a way. But I mean, she's definitely right because I mean, what she was able to do after Disney and even with Disney, I mean, she had hit after hit after hit. And so for them to not give her the Grammy in that moment, I felt like was disrespectful. But I also kind of wanted to talk about how much do these awards matter in your opinion? Whether it's a Grammy, whether it's a BET, AMAs, all that stuff. Does it really matter to you if your favorite artist wins these awards? Is it something that doesn't matter to you? Do you think it matters a little bit, and kind of having that conversation? And so my thoughts on this topic is I think that it matters a little bit because the Grammys is composed of songwriters and all that stuff, in terms of the people who are voting. So if you do win, it shows that you're respected by your peers and stuff like that, and it does add a prestige to your name. Mariah Carey is my favorite artist of all time. She has 6 Grammys now because they just gave her that honorary one. I think that she should have more. She definitely got snubbed for Daydream. That was one of the biggest albums of that year. 3 number 1 hits in Fantasy, Always Be My Baby, and One Sweet Day, which was number 1 for 16 weeks and is one of the longest running number 1 singles of all time. The public really loved that album as well, and she was also snubbed for The Emancipation of Mimi, and she did get a few Grammys for that, but she did not get a Song of the Year, a Record of the Year, or an Album of the Year, which I think that she really deserved. And so, should she have more Grammys? Absolutely, but also we have to look at her impact and what she's been able to do, because you would not see as many people releasing Christmas songs and albums without a Mariah Carey. They want to replicate All I Want for Christmas Is You because she wrote Go With That song, and it's not going to happen. So there is that moment there. There's a lot of people who wouldn't be singing if it wasn't for Mariah Carey. You have a Beyonce, you have Ariana Grande, you have Christina Aguilera, and so there is that. And so she has her impact in that way. And so it only matters to a certain degree because we have to look outside everything, with the awards. In terms of what was your impact with the general public and at large, what was your influence, how did your albums and songs do on the Billboard charts and all of those things. Because Aaliyah, I'm pretty sure she doesn't have any Grammys, and I mean, look at her impact and her influence and what she's been able to do. People are still copying her sound and her aesthetics to this day. A lot of people want to have a song like One in a Million and what that was able to do. Her self-titled album had great hits like Rock the Boat, Try Again, so they had great moments there as well, and her imaging and all that stuff. So Aaliyah's influenced a lot of people. And I'm pretty sure Britney Spears only has 1 Grammy. And so she has influenced a lot of people as well. I mean, whenever Christina came out and Jessica Simpson, they tried to have them be Britney Part 2. And, that fell on its face. And they were eventually able to do their own things and have success in their own rights. And Britney has had hit after hit after hit. With a song like Toxic, Baby One More Time, Oops, I Did It Again, Stronger. You had Give Me More as well, Circus, and it goes on and on and on. And just her and pop culture at large. Britney, like I said before, is one of the greatest pop stars of all time. I do not care. Love her or hate her, she pushed the envelope. A lot of people would not be doing what they're doing today if it wasn't for Britney Spears. If it wasn't for her performance and her having hit after hit after hit and her imaging and her persona and all of those things. So yeah, I think that it matters to a certain degree, but I think that outside of that, you really want to be a well-rounded artist and everything that I'm talking about, and also just being great in terms of what you do, in terms of performance, vocals, songwriting, imaging, promotion, all of those things. And so I think there's a lot of things that kind of have you go to that icon or legend level, as I've already discussed before. And so I think it matters to a certain degree, but there is a lot more that kind of goes in with artists. But I can see why artists would feel away not winning a Grammy, because it definitely does add something to your career, winning one. And there is something there, but I will say that there's artists that have won a bunch of Grammys and then you never hear from them again. I mean, what is Macklemore doing now? Flopping over and over again. So, I mean, only matters to a certain extent. There's a lot more. And I mean, Mariah doesn't even have a BET award or MTV award, which is ridiculous because of everything she's been able to accomplish. But Mariah, I mean, she's one of the most influential singers of all time, one of the best singer-songwriters of all time. And I feel like that's not really up for debate. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments on this topic. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? How much do you think that awards matter? Is this something that you're going to care about? Is this something that you're not going to care about? I think I care about it to a certain degree, but the music and the quality is always what's going to matter to me. Are you going to make an album that's going to stand the test of time, or are you not? And I think if you just do everything else right, then, all that stuff should come. And if it doesn't, your impact will be your impact.